Get Into Geek. This is episode 96. We're talking Beasts of Burden, Stargate SG-1. My name is Mitch. Joining me, the full Get Into Geek team. We got Matty.
Yo.
We got Brendan.
Hello.
Rhys.
G'day, guys.
And once again, we have a fifth man, but it's a new fifth man. We have Craig.
How you
Craig.
going?
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome along. It's a little rotating chair of ours, you know. It's been shared by only three people along the journey, but hey, you know.
That's right. What was our title we made up for Craig? He's our what?
Military expert?
advisor?
Advisor.
I wouldn't say
Advisor.
expert. Oh, come on.
Yeah, I've only done it for 14 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I'm still learning.
Yeah, you're not a veteran.
If it's a video, if it's a video game, he's still on like the intermediate level. He hasn't got.
And the thing is, you said that just so offhand, like, oh, he's our military advisor. And I'm like, hang on. I want to point out, like, are we the only, I was going to say only Stargate podcast, but it probably broadens out a little bit further than that.
There's more Stargate podcasts.
Yeah, but certainly they're only Stargate podcast with a military advisor on staff.
I mean, we haven't done the legwork, but that sounds right.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure
happy
the
to go with
official
that.
Stargate podcast has a
Oh, they've got everything.
has
Yeah.
something.
They got MGM, bro.
I'll go back and
Yeah.
listen to their 3 episodes again and
They'll
find
get
out.
they'll get the actual military advisors from the TV show. That's the kind of access they've got.
Oh, okay. So
Well,
it'll
not
definitely
the-
be good.
Not the money, obviously. They don't want to put some budget to anything.
We are a group of Stargate SG-1's fans introducing a newbie to the show, that being Rhys, right now, episode 7 of season 5, Beasts of Burden. Let's go back to the old physical media that is DVD, find out what the synopsis reads, and throw it over to Rhys and see what he thought. Daniel's Unas friend, Chaka, is captured by a pre-industrial civilization that uses Unas as slaves. While attempting to free Chaka from this cruel regime, Daniel risks the safety of SG-1 and possibly the life of his friend. Written by Peter DeLuise and directed by Martin Wood. How good is DeLuise going? Between episodes
Killing
he
it.
directs, he's like, yeah, I'll write this. Whatever.
Yep.
Got a few ideas I want
Triple
to throw
threat.
around.
I was just surprised that they called him Daniel's friend. Like, he was his captor, right? And then Daniel's like, yeah, all right, I love you.
Yeah, they're friends at the end. Remember when Shaka wanted Daniel to come with him after he killed the Alpha? He's like, come with us.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's called Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah. It's called bestiality.
Oh, there's definitely that going on.
That's absolutely what it was.
Those videos that Daniel had, there would have been some loose ones in there as well.
Oh, mate.
Shaka and his harem.
He would have known. He would have known that Daniel's recording. Like, you know.
Just done those looks to camera while he was just
I
pounding
didn't
away.
think, after less than 4 minutes, we'd sort of get in and, start getting it down to Smut Town. But you imagine the idea, it's like,
Look, I've had a couple of shots of tequila here, mate.
walks in, sees the, pretends not to see the camera, finds the treat. They're like, oh, this is as good a place to any to drain the snake here a little bit. Just like, boom.
There's quite a bit.
Daniel
of
too, Daniel's watching, studying, clicking on his mouse.
Drains
He sees it, goes, oh, no, it's going to happen. He just wheels his chair back, just
Clicking the
closes
hell
the
out of
door,
his mouth.
lock, just a little bit back and forth.
Taking some rec time.
So what do you think, Rhys? Because I know last season, especially with Matty, less so with me because I missed out on the first ones, but I haven't went back yet.
It was in your bottom section, I think, wasn't it?
Constant disappointment to me.
Fine.
Cool.
But
Constant disappointment.
overall, the podcast, big fan of the first ones. This is the semi-sequel to that, I guess. We follow it with Chaka. What'd you think?
I really liked it. I think it brought a different dynamic because, I mean, we learned the background of the Unas, basically. Well, not all of them, obviously.
But at least on that world.
On that world, so old and so inbred that they go off-world, luckily find an address, go off-world and find Shaka, and he becomes their leader. And I thought the dynamic was great because it brought in, it made me question if they were human, would... or if Jackson didn't know Shaka, would he care about the Unas?
Yeah, that's a fair point.
That was the biggest question that it brought up for me, and probably touch on that a little bit later. But
Yeah, well, that's what Jack was always thinking. Is like, come on, Daniel, how far do you want to push this? Like, it's basically an animal that took you as captive.
Because that's the thing, Jack likened them to dogs. Remember, he's like, he's
Jack
like,
definitely
dogs
still
sniff
sees
each
them as
other's
animals.
yeah, and we're friends for life. But we still keep them as pets. So yeah, it was interesting that obviously Jack didn't agree with what was going on, but he's still like, hey, if you want to do it, let's do it.
And even to the level it reached, like early on when he said, oh, what, you're saying you don't, the Unas, they're under threat or something, and he's going to kill him. He's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
And then everyone's just looking at him. I mean, I care.
Yeah, don't judge me on it.
Oh, see, I'm glad you got that out of it because I had this weird, like disconnect with it because it's obviously it's a whole like slavery allegory. But then they're also calling the Unas beasts. Like they're not even treating them as like you know. So it
Beasts
was weird.
of
It's
burden.
like, are they beasts of burden or are they slaves?
Yeah.
It's like they're all dressed like turn of the century, you know, American slaves. They've got, you know, the Unas are wearing little puffy shirts and a little vest,
Yeah.
and it's like if that was a
Bit
slave,
on
like
the nose.
yeah, if you think about like white slavery, like in America back in the day, it's
Why do
like
you always have to bring it back to
because
race, mate?
that's what this episode is about. So it's like they're giving them these little
It's not. It's
vests.
about an Unas.
Busting your balls, mate.
So they're giving them that, like treating them like slaves, but then they're also treating them like they're beasts. They're saying, oh no, they're not even human. They're not
Yeah.
even that. They're beasts. It's like, well, if you think it's a beast, why give it clothing? That was my weird.
Well, we don't
kind
want to
of-
see its little beast dick.
You don't. I do. I want to see if it's got ridges. You know, it might have teeth.
Ribbed for her pleasure.
You
Is it
know?
a Jewish beast? We don't know.
Exactly.
I mean, the guy. Did you see the guy with the weird lips? It was like one of those porn stars that had just been banged a million times
One of them.
I'm not sure where you're
The
going. I
big
don't
giant one.
get that reference.
with
No.
the brown
With the kid.
lip.
Oh,
Don't,
like-
I won't touch
If you
that.
look
wait,
at
the Unas or the human?
the Unas,
No, okay. Because there was only three. There was
the kid. Yeah.
well, that's the weird thing is there was only 3 Unas actors. So you had Dion Johnstone as Chaka, but he also played a bunch of background Unas. Then you had the guy who played Zales back in Spirits, and he was also Michael from 1969, the hippie. He was Shy One. He was the little one in the vest. And then they just had big, and then they just had Big One. So they just had those 3 actors.
Who was the Thor's hammer guy?
Thor's Hammer? Yeah, he was the Thor's Hammer Unas.
And he was in the first ones as well.
Yeah, as the alpha that
Thor's
Chaka
Hammer,
killed.
the original.
Yeah,
you know,
The one
James
that
Earl
James Earl
Jones.
Jones voiced. So same actor. So they only had those 3 actors, but they tried to. I think they had tried to play off too many Unas. Like that was the hard thing I had. It was like I could tell it was those same just 3 like molds.
I didn't.
Oh, see, I've seen it 4,000 times now.
I was
so
too
guess I've-
taken by the looks of Daniel Jackson.
Oh, mate! At the end when he's got his glasses off and he's wet and he's running,
He's squinting.
I damn near flooded my basement. Jesus.
He was doing that. He's standing side on, looking over his
serious.
shoulder to
Yeah,
camera.
he was. Whew.
Squinting at you.
Any day of the week.
I'm hot. So I actually thought Farmer Joe was fairly reasonable.
Burrock.
Yeah, I didn't think he was too
Colonel
bad.
Burke.
Colonel Burke. Thought he was okay because he kind of said, well, you know, like, all right, this guy means something to me. Give me 2 more if he's that big of a deal. He's actually trying to do a bargain, and Daniel's like, no, he's mine. I'm taking him. We're at that, and then he's like, well, no, go away. So at that point, they went back to the tree line with Carter and Teal'c. And I thought, might be throw that to you, Craig, where for me, I would have, as O'Neill, I would have gone back to maybe Hammond and gone, all right, they want Unas, but maybe we can give them farming shit.
Yeah, give them equipment. Or we can just go back to the SGC, get a whole bunch of Entars and a whole bunch of Zats and not worry about taking any lives.
Or how about we go back to the SGC and grab a couple of machine guns and just mow them all down?
Okay, well, that's what I wanted. Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
I like the
if that
split
was
personality of you two. It's like, let's not hurt anyone. Let's hurt everyone.
I really wonder why we're friends sometimes.
that's what I wanted to know as a military mind. Would you basically just mow them all down, or would you?
No, of course, politically, we can't do things like that.
No, but
Legally.
while we're on the microphone,
off the record,
I am obligated to say no.
You're not in a different country. You're on a different world.
Yeah, well,
UN treaty doesn't apply.
Yeah,
we can do what we want.
Yeah.
absolutely.
There's no one looking, right?
No.
I do like
We're not
Farmer
recording.
Joe. Like when they first get there and they see him, you know, selling off all of these slave Unases. And is it? Sorry, Unas, is that like a sheep? Is it 1 sheep, 2 sheep, like 1 Unas,
Unai.
two Unai? Yeah, let's go Unai.
Right in the Unai.
I mean, I'm already worried every time I say Unas, I'm going to say it wrong.
Unas. Yeah, plural is anus.
But when he's selling off the Unai and one of them, he blasts the Unas in the back, and then Daniel and O'Neill pop up, and they're just like, you know, making comment about the fact that he's, you know, shot someone in the back, what a coward sort of thing. And he's like, "Who are you? I've not seen your kind here before." I'm like, what, people in black vests? Or like, what do you mean? Because you're all human. Like, he just immediately knew that they obviously weren't from his planet, but it was like, how did he know they was, I don't know, I just thought it was
Machine
such an
guns,
easy way to
yeah.
get like, oh, you're clearly travelers, you know, but where are you from? And the fact that he didn't even know the
We're across the creek.
yeah.
Oh, I haven't been there before.
We've been watching you.
Did anyone else think that like Shaka looked wrong? Like because
Whoa.
they'd done the makeup wrong, and he was like,
Just because he's not white doesn't mean he's wrong, mate.
well, no, that's the thing is they made him white.
Hey, if you're not
he
white,
was
you're
like
wrong.
he was like deep like
No, it's
forest
about
green.
racial.
He was like green in first ones, and now he's kind of got this weird
Yeah.
like pinky beigey sort of tone to his
Yeah,
skin that I didn't
in
quite
first
like.
ones, I think he was a little bit envious.
Well, he's the boss. He's the boss now, so he's got a chance to wash. He's probably got wash girls
Yeah,
and
that's
stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
He's had a clean diet of grapes.
Peeled grapes.
Yeah, Jackson
Yeah.
leaves treats and baby wipes for him.
A foundation, obviously. That's why he's pink. Well, I think the next one where he's in, he looks way worse. For me, this one,
Oh, the next one that Shaka's in.
Yeah, the next one
because
that
it's a
Shaka's
different
in.
actor.
yeah, and it's
And that's the hard thing too, is they
Crappy
don't
makeup.
reference any of this. Like none of this. Like this whole the end of this episode is all about they've basically they've armed themselves to go and sort of take back all
Yeah,
their
that's
all their
true.
And
incest
obviously they
brethren.
win.
Well, we never find out. We see Shaka one more time, played by a different actor, and there's no reference to this episode whatsoever. We don't see Shy One. Was Shy One a male or a female? I couldn't quite tell if Shaka was keen on Shy One as like a mate or keen on Shy One as a mate.
Are you saying Shy One like that's the name, or
That's-
that one's Shy?
That is its name in script, Shy One.
Or it?
Did
Wow.
you just assume it's gender?
It?
yeah.
No, because I just asked the question if it was male or female.
Well, he could be gay. So
Well, that's true. as well.
It's got nothing to do with gender.
I just always
Do we even know if Unas have a male and female anatomy?
Yeah.
yeah, that's
well,
great
this
points.
is what I wanted to see. Why were they clothed? I wanted to see Unas junk. I want
Don't
to know.
call it junk, mate. It's more valuable than that. One man's trash is another man's treasure.
All right, I'll see everyone next week. I'll just sit in the corner and shut up.
gold member.
Gold member.
I can't remember if I had it because I watched this online on a legal streaming site. So the opening.
Don't you have the DVDs, mate?
No, I do, but I was at work.
Well
On
played.
my work laptop, I won't get caught.
Accepted. That's
Like,
acceptable.
computers don't have DVD players anymore.
Oh.
It's their own
But
fault.
Still
was
hurts
it
me.
that whole opening sequence was like a silent film? There was no dialogue at all.
Oh yeah, you're right. Because it was just Daniel watching the video. Like it was, we saw it live, and then it
Yeah.
kind of panned back in to reveal to be video footage, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Is that the first time
Yeah.
ever we would have had no dialogue pre-credits? Surely.
from what I can recall, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it makes sense because you'd think in my brain I feel like I heard like Burak and his guys doing stuff, but it's like, well, no, Daniel's video didn't have a microphone on it, so he didn't have any sound. So yeah, that's interesting.
I was just in because it's a Peter DeLuise script. This one written by Pete, and I just thought that'd be interesting. Just a full block of description, and then credits
yeah,
in the script.
yeah, that'd be cool. You do it like a stage play, just a single beam of light appears on stage. Shaka. Anyway. I
Keep going,
digress.
keep going.
I digress.
I like it.
We need to get Graham in here.
Talking about it being like obviously a parallel for slavery, you get that feeling early on, especially when old mate's up there selling the slave Unas,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh shit, this is going to be a real heavy episode. So as it went on, I was actually a little bit not disappointed, but surprised that they didn't go a little bit further with the parallels, the allegory for slavery, whether it be American slavery with African Americans in the mid 1800s or something. They just
don't go there,
They
mate.
didn't.
God
They didn't
forbid.
push it. Like I don't know, but they didn't.
Oh,
I
good
feel
point,
like
Mitch.
Yeah, there it is. That's what I was waiting. That's what I was waiting for.
So this is an interesting topic.
Matty, someone else is bringing it up.
Continue,
Mate, it's fine.
continue.
Here, just can you read my notes out for me, Mitch? That'd be great.
Absolutely.
Mitch is like, you bring notes?
I don't want to scrap of paper. I'm just transferring them to my notebook
That's just
now.
the intro.
Napkin. Got from Subway.
So glad I watch all these episodes twice.
I'm done.
Yeah, I feel like they sort of wimped out a little bit too much. Like I said before, it was like half slavery, half beasts of burden. It's like just pick one. Like when we live in this Stargate galaxy where the whole universe is already like slaves. Like all the humans are slaves under the Goa'uld. What is this episode telling us? That slavery's bad? It's like, well, do we need 40 minutes of television to tell us that slavery's bad? Don't we kind of already know that?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was...
I think it was to sort of connect it closer to what we as humans know.
But if you, like Mitch was saying, put it towards the American sort of slavery, it's like, okay, well, if we watched an episode of Black Mirror where African Americans overthrew the white people and made white people their slaves, only to say that you're doing just as bad a thing as what the white people were doing, it's like, well, we know that already. Like we know, and no kind of slavery is good unless you're the person that has slaves. Like if you're the owner, slavery is awesome, but the whole point is to be like, well, slavery on any level is not a good thing. So I was just like, wouldn't it have been much more interesting to see? I mean, I know any Unas episode is always interesting, but it's like, wouldn't it be more interesting to see like human slaves like rise up over a particular Goa'uld, and then suddenly they're using Goa'uld as slaves or something like that?
Well, they did say in that episode though that the humans were originally the slaves, and then they rose up.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so
But they rose up against the Unas. I'm saying, wouldn't it
Yeah.
be more interesting to see the human slaves rise up against Goa'uld
Well,
and
that
see
is- yeah.
Goa'ulds in servitude rather than the Unas?
That's interesting.
Well,
what I thought
Isn't
too.
that the whole
Because
series put together?
Well, no, we don't see Goa'uld as slaves.
And initially, I thought that's where they were going. That the Unas, being the initial host of the Goa'uld, that they rose up against the Unas like so long ago. When the Unas were the ones with the glowing eyes, they said no, they served the great one with the with the glowing eyes. So they were just their
Yeah, in the
soldiers
same
at
way
that
the one
point.
from Demons served Sokar, and the one from Thor's chariot
The-
served
the thing that
Marduk.
that I took from this was that the Goa'uld who was in charge of this world was actually using Unas as like security, or the Jafar. To me, it was like the humans took over the Unas, because I'm thinking at that point, well, wouldn't the Goa'uld just jump out of the Unas into the humans?
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, usually when we talk about Unas being in service of the Goa'uld, they are Goa'ulds.
Yeah,
They've got a snake
yeah, like
in
the
their
one from
heads.
Demons and the one from Thor's hammer.
Yeah. So I just found that kind of a weird twist on it.
Yeah, it was.
Is there a Goa'uld out there who has Unas as slaves or
Well,
servants?
And
I
if
guess
so-
technically Sokar did, because that one from Demons was Sokar's sort of like almost like Sokar's Ashrak. It was like
Yeah, but he
his-
was a Goa'uld.
Oh, so you're saying like unblended
Yeah.
Unas.
well,
Yeah.
is there a Unas still out there that is a Goa'uld still?
God, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what
what
we
we've
wanna
that's what
see.
we've wanted since like season 2.
Yeah. That's what we wanted
That's what we were
Sokar to
hoping
be.
Sokar was going to be.
And it wouldn't it be interesting if they like helped these Unas escape, and come the end they've gone off to start their own war of revolution basically against their captors, that they then once somehow, or if even by default, the Goa'uld hear about this and they once again become servants of the Goa'uld, and so through trying to free one of the Unas, SG-1 have allowed their race, this stronger race than humans, to once again be the key soldiers of at least a small group of them anyway, to one Goa'uld, and it's almost made their job harder just because they wanted to free one. Like, if this come back in 6 episodes time and the next Apophis or something is rolling around with like his
Minions.
minions, because we see how tough these bastards are in this episode.
Yeah.
Like, they can cop all these bullets or the blastings, like stuff that would normally obliterate humans. These guys can take a little bit more of. Like, thank God they were on our side in this episode, basically.
Yeah, definitely. The town apparently was that set was actually the same set from 100 Days. Not to bring that horrible episode up again, but apparently they just it's a set for another TV show as well, like an outside set, and they just decided to reuse it.
Yeah, right.
So I didn't recognise it from 100 Days though. I didn't see
Oh,
none of the buildings.
I
Yeah,
didn't
because
see-
asteroids hit it.
I didn't see. I didn't see Gary in the walls or anything.
Buried in the walls. Jesus. Although, if we had have searched that bloody creek, that
Oh yeah, you would have found a radio.
oh, heaps of shit below there.
And that chick's dead husband just floating in the bottom somewhere. Just
How do you float in the bottom?
I don't know.
I mean, in regards to water. Let's move on.
I thought Daniel was particularly stupid in this episode.
In my notes here, I've put down dumbass Daniel moments.
Dumbass Daniel. I think that's a new nickname.
Damn, dumbass Daniel.
Yeah, Dumbass Daniel. Again with the dumbass decisions.
Yeah, so in the barn where Chaka was held, they've got guys surrounding them all with staff weapons and Zat guns, and Daniel's just provoking them. Like,
Yeah.
seriously.
He's an
Like,
idiot.
you're in the kill box, Daniel.
Totally.
He's my Unas. He's not even your Unas. Stop saying it. Like, he goes, let's start off with honesty, and then lies immediately. Like, as a joke, Jack's like, really? And then he just lied.
We're traders. We
forever.
trade. We've traded.
Yeah.
We're trading.
And then, yeah, for the entire episode, it's like, can't you just think of... Like, he's supposed to be a negotiator in a way. He's supposed to be the conscience of the team. So wouldn't he go, all right, well... You use the Unas as beast of burden. How about let's not have beasts of burden? Like I said before, give them farming technologies and horticulture.
Well, and then
Techniques.
there was that one Unas that was like the babysitter for the little boy. It's like, do you need a beast of burden to be a babysitter?
Yeah,
Really?
That'd be
Like-
dangerous.
right?
having a cow as a babysitter. Like if
Well,
They're fully inbred.
But that's what they were saying.
Dumb as a board.
Remember there was that one in the cage where they're like, oh, he's so inbred, he's gone full retard, and like we've got to.
Oh, jeez.
You never go full
We
retard.
managed to get around the R word until now.
His dad was half retard, and he was born
his
into
mum
it.
was half
Full
retard, now he's full. Assuming they have mothers and fathers.
yeah.
Well, they got to. Hatched
Probably
by
fathers,
eggs.
just fathers,
Just-
two fathers.
Are Unas hatched out of an egg?
Yeah.
Ooh,
I like it. Land Before Time.
I like that. There's a species on Seth MacFarlane's new show, The Orville, where it's just like they're a full male race, and they lay eggs.
God,
Who fertilises them?
The male partner.
Fertilises the male egg.
Yeah.
Bloody seahorse.
could you
mate.
fertilise your own egg, if you know what I mean?
Oh, you'd have to ask Seth, mate. I don't know. I haven't done the legwork for that one.
You could always try and fertilise your own egg.
Yeah. I mean,
There's no harm
you
giving
do.
it a
I
shot.
mean,
Like that's the thing.
you
Like,
try and fertilise your own egg all the time, mate.
yeah, that's it. Like before I go to bed, I try to fertilise my own egg.
Yeah. But yeah, so
Instead
it's like,
he fertilised his pillow.
yeah, there was that.
Just to relax.
He's trying to hatch his pillow. There's that one Unas that's like
I need a little cushion.
yeah.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. So
There's that one Unas that's so
Pillow baby.
munted that like they have to like put it down because it's gone too crazy. But it's like then they're happy to have another one looking after like an 8-year-old boy, like walking around holding its hand, and I'm just to
Yeah.
me the and that particular Unas holding the boy's hand, that was definitely like a slavery thing.
That's the lips.
yeah.
That's the one with
That
the
was-
lips.
Oh yeah,
With
that's
the porno pussy
big
lips.
one. Yeah, big
Yeah.
one. So he was
Yeah.
obviously so like just beat down and
Totally.
that
But-
he was looking after this little boy.
Yeah, I guess if you like liken it again to just many movies, at least none of us were around slavery days, but where there are African Americans.
I got a wife, mate.
She your slave.
Parts of her are black.
Was that Unas that kid's wet nurse?
That's the thing. Like you could think. No, but you could.
That is the thing.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
You got like in those movies, you got like black slaves out in the field, and you got the men out there just like whipping them to do all these like manual labor tasks.
Yeah.
And then back in the house, you've got these African
What's
American
that
women
movie?
looking after
You
the
be the
children.
house slave, I'll be the field slave.
Yeah,
Oh,
like that.
don't do the accent.
It's a movie quote.
Racial.
What movie?
I can't remember.
What does Unas milk taste like, though?
Oh, probably like that weird.
Well, they're platypus, aren't they? They
That
lay
weird-
eggs and produce milk.
that weird milk from the latest Star Wars movie that Luke Skywalker likes to drink from that weird
Oh yeah,
that weird
Straight
creature.
from the teat.
Yeah,
that creature they brought in just to sell merchandise for.
yeah.
I don't know.
The tit one.
Who's
Oh no, yeah,
Who's
yeah.
buying-
You can buy a big Star Wars tit.
Oh, mate,
Right. Are you thinking about the little porgs, the penguin
Yeah,
things?
the
No. That's what I'm
porgs.
thinking. I'm like, who the hell's
That's
buying
right.
a toy of the
No,
bloody
the one with the big titty.
the teated whale things that like jerk
Yeah.
off blue milk into Mark Hamill's glass?
It's Jabba the Hutt with a big tit.
That's when you know that like Disney have really made it. If like the kids are out there going, I want the blue milk whale dick creature. I must have
I
it.
can't wait to build those titties out of Lego.
Milk.
Why did we spend so much money on the porgs?
Really lactate.
Those ads where the kid's like showing how easy it is. Then takes a sip, goes into the camera.
It's real milk.
It'd be expensive
Far
though.
out.
That'd be expensive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they have to get it from a galaxy far, far away.
Now, we haven't talked much about Carter in this episode. Did anyone notice, is she trying to knock off Jack's glasses? Was she trying to wear like the same sunglasses as Jack?
They were pretty much the same.
Have a look.
yes.
I've got a picture here. Have a look at this,
Yeah,
guys.
they were the same.
It looks like she's gone, if RDA's got those kind of glasses, I want a cool pair as well, because
totally.
I'm military. And they totally... What did
Do you reckon?
someone say they were cool when they found them online?
Desert?
Yeah, desert something?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Do you reckon? O'Neill's just got new ones and gone. Oh, do you want
Oh,
these?
do you want my
And she's
leftovers
like,
here?
oh, do I?
Can I have your hat next?
Maybe this is when people start picking up they're actually sleeping with each other, like when she starts wearing his clothes
Oh,
on
yeah.
missions. And
He
it's
just
like,
left him on the bedside table the
Yeah,
night before, and
like-
she's wearing them to work.
It's a secret
What?
message from her to him, but like everyone else is like, what
Carter's glasses.
Do they root?
Well, no, they want to, obviously. That's the whole premise for the last couple of seasons, is they want to.
Oh, they have. Carter doesn't remember.
Oh, yeah, of course. Window of opportunity.
So I noticed Daniel had to have Zat in this one.
Yeah, I'm sure he would have loved it.
I feel like
Shanksy
the
would
whole
have been like, do I have to? Yes, because your character's a dickhead in this episode.
yeah. Well,
You
this takes
deserve
me
a
back
Zat.
to rules of engagement and why they should be like carrying intars. It's like intars look like
Yeah.
our weapons. Have that as a sidearm
Yeah,
that's non-lethal.
because they're way cooler. You can holster them better.
Like imagine if the P90 they just had a couple of spare clips in the backpack of entar rounds to go into the
Good
P90s.
call.
Don't have to worry about taking any lives. I mean, because the Borok and his idiots had
Let's just kill them all.
no, but that's the
Craig's
thing.
like, what of having a gun?
But Jack was the one that was always like,
They're not cops. They're not tasering people.
But see, here's the thing, though.
You at
is-
least want the option to kill him.
But Daniel
Shoot him
didn't
twice.
care. Like, it was Jack who was the one who was saying, I don't want to take human lives in exchange for shitty Unas lives.
Yeah.
Whereas Daniel then has his little moment in the cage where he's like, just get us out of here. I don't
Okay.
care how. And
Diva.
then Jack's all upset about it, that Daniel's finally willing to, like, take human lives to save the Unas. And I'm like, well, if they all, like, and I get that maybe a couple of Zats wouldn't do the job because we find out that Borok and his guys, not only do they have staff weapons, but they have Zats as well. You know, and a Zat battle's pretty boring and probably hard to film.
Yeah.
But it's
Obviously,
like,
Just a bit of extra money.
Yeah.
if, you know, if the team's sidearms were entars, like,
Yeah.
I feel like it would have been a hell of a lot easier. to
P90
get
rounds
everything
would be
done.
cool, like you said.
P90 rounds as entars would be
Yeah.
awesome.
I'd like that.
No, we're all right. One of the Unas took a hit.
Chaka.
No, he's okay. I thought I told you to hold your position at the gate.
Yes, sir. However, Teal'c thinks we might be able to create a big enough distraction to attempt to rescue, and I agree. But we can't guarantee 0 casualties.
That's still your concern. Please advise. Over.
I don't think we're going to talk our way out of this one.
Well, for once, I'm not asking us to.
Damn it, Daniel.
Let's get out of here. All of us.
In a way, Daniel and Jack kind of swapped roles a little bit
Yeah.
through part of this episode. Like, normally Jack's the one like, yeah, all right, let's kill them all. And Daniel's like, oh, no, we've got to touch them and be
Yeah.
nice and shit.
Yeah, and I feel like
Use our feelings and shit.
yeah, and I feel like if they were human slaves rather than Unas slaves, it'd be the other way around. And
Yeah.
Jack would have no problem killing Borok and those douchebags to save the human
Well,
slaves.
personally, I'd rather kill a person than a dog, so...
Yeah, I'm with you.
no,
I'm with
but
you there.
No,
I'm with you there.
either way, Jack is going to kill humans. Like, they're still human masters, but I'm saying Jack wasn't willing to kill human masters for Unas slaves, but I feel like he would be willing to kill human masters for human slaves. So either way, Jack,
Right,
you know,
I see what you're saying.
we know Jack doesn't have a problem killing Unas. That's fine. But I'm saying he's not willing to kill humans to save slave Unas, whereas he would if they were human slaves. He'd be willing to kill them.
I feel he just doesn't want to do the paperwork for any dead humans. If he went back
Yeah.
to the SGC and said, hey, Hammond, can we do this? Hammond would be like, well, no, why are we wasting all this
Yeah.
and risking
Yeah,
your
but
lives to
yeah.
save an Unas?
Yeah,
Like,
how many Jafar did he like mow down in The Fifth Man a couple of weeks ago to
Yeah.
save that one alien?
52.
But that
My
one
back
alien,
counted.
I counted the bullets.
you've gone to your spreadsheet.
86% accuracy.
But it's like, and that was to save one alien who didn't even look human, but was able to make himself
Mate.
look human.
Yeah, but he
That
thought
was
he
Tyler
was.
from Texas.
Bloody Tyler. They don't leave a man behind.
You know, he's been training with us for months.
No, but I think you could do like a little huddle before you go back and be like, hey, guys, just in your report, just don't put that we killed anyone, all right?
Yeah.
Got away with it. Yeah, it's just like, it's like when you finish a night shift 3 hours early and you just go to everyone, we're still putting to till 3 a.m.,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone has NTAR
Cool.
rounds, except
Yeah.
Jack's just firing normal rounds, and he's like, "Oh, whoops, sorry, I forgot to put my NTARs in."
What
Probably
happens
'cause
on patrol stays on patrol.
Because in the computer's like system, when you're doing your paperwork, there's like a drop-down menu. It's like enemies killed, and it's like humans, and he scrolls down Gould, and then it's like
Other.
other. And it's like, oh, well, there's nothing there. Oh, well, that makes me. Yep, 0 fatalities. Then it's like,
Yeah.
well, I couldn't specify, so 0. Then we all in agreement. Good.
Yeah. Now I'm not expecting much of a return from you guys, but I made it, so we may as well play it anyway. There was just a part there where I feel like it was just missing a little bit of audio, a little bit of
did you
background
make
music.
something?
I made something.
I had to press 7 different symbols to get the Chopper Eye to open.
How did you learn those symbols?
I paid dearly for them. They have been passed down through the lineage of certain families since the Beast Wars.
Beast Wars?
Generations ago, the beasts enslaved our forefathers through terror and oppression. They served the one with the glowing eyes.
just think it made it sound so much more exciting.
That's exactly what I thought of.
And then they
Was
just
that
pan across,
cartoon
and
thing.
they've got like an Unas slave band actually like playing
Yeah.
it at the end of the bar.
and they go, maximise! And they turn into ghouls.
It's the only song they know. That's like, don't they? Yeah, we'll do that one again. Do that
if
one
you
again.
liked that show, Rhys, you'll a little bit of foreshadowing for next week. One of the actors in next week's episode was actually the voice of Optimus Primal from Beast Wars.
No way.
Yep.
Is that his name?
Optimus Primal. Yeah, the monkey
That's right.
Transformer. Optimus Primal.
That's funny.
Yeah, I love me some Transformers.
Beast Wars.
Beast Wars.
Space Pants.
I'll tell you what, we're throwing a lot of
Sounds
shade
Stargate.
shade Daniel's way. Like, yeah, he made some dumb decisions.
All season, guys.
Yeah, all season, sure. But I reckon in this, like, I didn't realise how brave he was until this episode. And it wasn't anything that we saw. It's just information that we hear about that took place before this episode when he said, like, he's obviously filming all this footage of Chaka on that planet, leaving him treats and stuff. He said, I went back every time to get the footage. All right? He said, but I travelled back every time with SG-11. You don't know
shit.
that you're coming back. You may as well
Wow.
say your goodbyes every time. It's
Shit.
like, who are you going with? Oh, SG-11. Well, we may never see you again. Just going to get a camera.
It's like,
There's literally
Hammond's
a
like-
Sony 8mm on the other side of this gate. Well, who are you with? SG-11. Mate, all bets are off. You might
it's
not
like
be coming
every
back.
time SG-11 like leave the SGC and step through the gate, they've got to fill a little survey and they've got to tick whether they'd prefer to be captured or killed just as they step through the gate.
Or both.
Are
Hammond-
you burial or cremation?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Just for paperwork.
Hammond's like, do we really have to do this, Daniel? And he's like, I really love to do it, sir. And he's like, oh well, might as well
Enough.
take SG-11 then. I'm
Yeah.
not spending money on this shit.
Just use the second-hand Kevlar vests. It'll be fine.
And was it, Daniel? There was someone at the end in a little battle where you had the farmer blokes show up and the Unas that were picking up all the weapons and stuff. There was one of the farmer Joe's blokes like jumped across the creek
Oh, yeah.
right from a like wide shot, and then you see someone fire a Zat mid-air and it hits him mid-stride. So when he
Yeah.
lands, he just like a heap of shit. Was that Daniel that fired that Zat? I couldn't tell.
That was Carter. And
was
she,
Carter, was
she
it?
double tapped it.
Oh, nice.
So she's
I
like,
thought that. I was like,
This
double tap that? She's like, it's not taking lives bullshit.
yeah, she
She-
double tapped
You
him.
just barely saw it. Like I couldn't see like whether it was her long hair, but I also couldn't see any glasses, so I wasn't sure which of the characters it was. Knew it wasn't O'Neill, knew it wasn't Teal'c, but yeah, I just wasn't sure because it was a sweet move. And double tap, I didn't even pick that up. Yeah,
That's a bad. If you think about it, that's a bad way to go. Like you go to like jump across a creek and you're alive. By the time you hit the other side, you're already dead.
yeah.
Like, and if she triple tapped,
wouldn't know.
If she triple tapped, he wouldn't even have hit the other side of the bank. He would have just disintegrated in midair.
There was no splash.
That would have been great.
Sick.
That would have been sick.
So, oh,
Off-world activation. Repeat, we have an off-world activation.
What's happening?
get to your
Oh, I guess
stations,
we've got an
boys.
incoming transmission.
Hey boys, it's Damien Edwards.
Damo!
Break from work here to just drop you a quick line.
work
make
as
it
well.
short and sweet, and yeah, a lot less production than Dan Pucci went to. Anyway, boys, thanks for the SG1 patch. But yeah, I'm in a bit of the same boat as Ashley O. Just no idea what to do with it or where to put it
We've
yet.
got
but
them and ours are
anyway,
just sitting on a shelf.
still
Love
looking. I'll let you know if
Caress
I
it.
find
Embroidered on a pillow.
a good idea for it anyway.
Let Damo
yeah,
talk.
Loving the podcast, boys. Love listening to all of yous. Bloody makes my days, makes my drives because I do a lot of travelling.
Legend.
Bloody every day. So you're always going when I'm in the car. So it's awesome. Rhys, your rant, man. Yours is the best thing I've loved about the show.
My man.
About that other show.
My head just
Really
inflated.
can't bring myself to saying that O word. It's just shit house, mate. Shit house show.
Boy.
Anyway, you boys need to have more of Lincoln. Even though most of the time that he's there, he sounds like he's kicked back on a lounge a couple metres away having a nap. But he's
Totally is.
down there when something upsets him or chucking his little nuggets of gold. Good
Swezzle.
times if you're on their link. Yeah, Matty, the bloody Star Trek list you sent me. Bloody
Oh, yes.
started on Next Generation. I couldn't go back to the originals. I tried to do your top 156 or whatever it is, but I'm a bit OCD and a bit of a completionist, so I'm actually going through every episode of Next Gen.
Oh,
Finish
Jesus.
season 1, but yeah, it'll
That's
take me a while, but I'll
commitment.
get there. And I've also started listening to the podcast that you, Rhys, mentioned that Dan Pucci started. It's not too bad, actually. I've listened
forward.
to 3 episodes so far, so it's pretty good.
Dan and Dan show.
Yeah, anyway, boys, I'm looking forward to the rest of this season and then keep going. Not so sure about the next season. I think you boys know the one reason why I wouldn't like the next season. Rhys will find that out. Especially looking forward to my favourite episode, Meridian, and interested to hear what Rhys's thoughts are being a new viewer on that episode. Anyway, boys, I've got to get back to work. Cheers, and catch up with you soon.
Brilliant.
Cheers, buddy.
Thank you, Damo.
Yeah, mate.
Do you know, love, that just shows like the Australian work ethic. We've got Damo sending us a voicemail at work while we've got Brendan at his work watching Stargate.
Absolutely. Look, you just got to put in the hours, guys.
Right? I mean, you're
You
there.
just got to write the hours down.
I mean, as long as you clock in, that's all you need to do, really.
Yeah, as long as you're taking those phone calls and pretending to do work.
Damo, bloody legend, mate.
Well done.
Thanks for your off-world activation.
Boom.
Yeah, I love having an incoming traveller, if you know what I mean.
Oh, mate, who doesn't? Outgoing traveller.
It's time to find out.
Out if
Rhys has been paying attention.
Oh. Is this all for this episode?
Sure. Oh, I don't know. 5 questions, 30 seconds on the clock for Rhys's trivia. It's time to find out if he's been listening. And
That's not the song.
That's not the
We've
song.
just sang the song.
Yeah, we literally just...
I've just changed it, so it's fine.
You're
on
a
the
piece
spot.
of shit.
He put it in a spreadsheet and it changed it. So now that's the way we've got to do it.
He's not changing it. He's defining it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, making it more defined.
It's time to find out if Rhys has been listening
Listening good.
Listening
good
real
and
good.
stuff. On maybe this
Things.
episode, but maybe other episodes. But it's always short form answers.
All right, can I get on with this? For
Oh,
God's
please
sake.
do.
Question 1. Time starts at the end of this.
P3X 888.
Incorrect. In the Unas language, what does keka mean?
Oh, freedom.
Incorrect. What does ka mean?
Oh, what the?
Come on.
Give.
No.
No, that's
What is the name of Daniel's Unas?
Chaka.
Correct. What is the allocated binary number for the Unas homeworld?
Oh, P3X 888.
Correct. Who are SG1 mistaken for in Red Sky?
Elves.
Correct. What does keka mean?
Oh, you're a f***ing idiot.
What does ka mean?
You're a f***ing
Come on, mate. I'm
feel
not
like
a fuckhead.
I'm gonna guess. Give him to me.
Keka.
Keka is danger.
Correct.
And what was the other one? Ka is no.
Correct. Oh, no. Just got a professional in here.
Boom!
That's all.
Mic drop.
How many times you guys seen the episode and you're f***ing happy about that?
Don't make excuses,
Yeah, big
mate.
time, mate. Yeah. Look, you got to pay attention.
Your father made you wrong!
You stupid son of a bitch.
Oh, one of the
Do you know,
greats.
I just realised then that those together actually reference both of Rhys's parents. I only just put that together. Your father made you wrong, and then you son of a bitch.
Oh, good call.
Wow, don't call my mum a stupid son of a bitch.
No, you're a stupid son of a
Dare
bitch.
you. Don't try and backpedal, mate.
I didn't call your mum a
No,
son of a
you
bitch. I
are.
just called her a bitch.
Wow. Wow.
Good times.
And Matty won't be here next week.
Are the things they said about my mum? It's fine.
That's deserved.
Only after
Said about it.
Only after you gave us pictures of it.
Okay, that is episode 96 of Get Into Gate. Beasts of Burden. We will be back next week to talk episode 97, The Tomb. Back with Peter DeLuise behind the camera as director.
God, he's been busy.
He's very busy. Very good, though.
He needs the paycheck
Yeah, obviously.
because, needs a second Ferrari. I'm guessing that's how much he gets paid.
He's got to travel back and forth from America to Canada, so, you know.
Oh, he's got a Stargate, mate. Like, Jesus.
It doesn't go that far. Come on, it goes way further than that. It's like there was an old TV.
Rhys
There's an old
clearly hasn't been
TV
paying
one.
attention. You can't take a Stargate from
Yeah,
one
what
part
have
of the
you
Earth
been
to the
doing?
I
other.
don't even
not how
know
it
what
works,
Kaka means.
Back
or
in the
whatever.
day on TV One, Stargate was on. I think that was when you and I started getting into it, Mitch. And then one of the promos was, it turns out Jack O'Neill's been using the Stargate to travel to Hawaii. And I'm like, you idiots, that is not how it even works. You need a designated point of origin,
You'd
and
have to
Hawaii
travel
is not one.
off-world and then move. Then Earthlings have to move the gate to
Yeah.
Hawaii so that he could then just go
Yeah,
there.
or have a secondary gate, but then bury the other one.
I
That's
hate
the
to bring
other
it up,
option.
but it's like that episode of Rick and Morty where the president has his own little Stargate that has to be helicoptered somewhere and then it drops down and then he's got to
that
jump
was
through
sick.
it.
That'd save time.
Oh,
He wouldn't have to do it.
no. Well, he's got those other people choppering around.
He wouldn't anyway.
No, but he'd have to sit in the plane.
It's all about time management, guys.
Until next week, you can...
It saves him sitting down.
Yeah. Well, it could be in other meetings, And be like, is Stargate ready yet? Hurry up. All right, time to go.
You can find all of our old podcasts on your favourite podcasting channel. Just search Get Into Geek, a Stargate podcast. Like, subscribe, share, all that sort of jazz on our social pages, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Check us out there, or you can send us a long-form chat, or even your own voicemail, as our mate Damo did today, via getintogate@gmail.com. If you want to join the show, be part of the show, contribute to the show, jump onto patreon.com/getintogate and be part of the inner sanctum.
Yeah,
of
if
the
you
gate.
don't want to be a beast of burden, jump on.
Or you want us to be your beasts of burden.
Yeah, if
We
you
already
want
are.
us to burden your beast,
Yeah. Hey.
That's one.
take it
If
as
you
you
want
see it.
one in the Unas,
In the Unai. No. If you want one in the Unai.
You want one in the Unas.
Do you want to the Unas or the Unai?
Yeah.
Speaking of Patreon, we got a couple of new patrons.
Oh!
Rebecca Kirsten.
Welcome, Rebecca.
Welcome. Thank you for
Dexter.
jumping on. Thank you for becoming a patron. And Kim Stevens.
So, you get
Welcome,
the easy
Kim.
pronunciations, don't you? Jesus.
You gave them to me. Playing the victim in this one.
can you just pre-read that next time, Rhys? For God's sake.
Now, speaking of Patreon, Rebecca and Kim are also in the draw for our giveaway for this month, or for October, which was our Stargate, what do you call it, hipster pocket watch?
Hipster
Hipster.
pocket watch. Ooh,
Well, who
I
else
like
wears
it.
a
Dare
pocket
you.
watch besides hipsters these days?
Do you have to wear skinny jeans to have it, or?
No, I feel like you have to wear like steampunk. Like you have to wear like suspenders.
I feel like
And top hat and
Colonel
stuff.
Burrock might have worn a
Burrock.
pocket watch.
Yeah, he could have.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a
Big
bad
time.
one. Well, I thought,
He kept it in his Unas.
well done.
Still does.
From the
Yeah,
cheap
yeah.
seats.
He's
well
got,
done.
he's got the chain from his Unas to his pocket.
Pushing style. Christopher Walken.
Well, I thought while we're here,
I kept this hipster watch.
we might
In my
That was for 2 years.
In my wormhole.
we done? All right, good. I thought I might draw.
You got one, Matty? or-
Trying to. Can you
I don't
think of
do-
an?
Oh wait,
No,
low
no.
pitches here. I don't do no f***ing fruity accents, mate. Oh, see low pitch.
See, buddy.
I thought I might draw our winner since it's the
Oh,
the
yeah.
4th of November today as this
Yep.
episode drops. So that's
do
kind
it.
of done. So I'm actually, and ironically, I'm actually drawing the winner from our next month's prize. So here we go. Mitch, do you have a drum roll there?
I don't.
No.
You should maybe.
Oh, hang on. Maybe I
get
do.
organised.
And the winner of our hipster pocket watch, Scotty Shaw.
Scotty doesn't know.
Daddy just want to watch.
Oh, well done.
Well, he does now.
He doesn't. Well, now he's listening. Not right now as we're doing this. We're not. Yeah. Well done, Scotty, and thank you to all our other patron people that are all here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just to, yeah. They were just blank sheets of paper.
Every one of these has got Scotty's
they
name
all
on
said
it.
Scott Shaw.
Everyone's got Scotty's name on it. So congratulations, commiserations to those who didn't win. But yeah, I do have 2 prizes that we're giving away next month.
Right.
And if you saw that video,
What are they?
Well, if you saw that video, you know what they are.
That,
What
is
are
that
they?
the black? Is that the big black thing that you showed me?
Yeah,
earlier?
the big black thing that I just had my hand wrapped around there.
Yeah, good.
Oh,
You
the
can-
Zat.
Looking forward to
that
that.
actually can fill your mouth up pretty well, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
Why was it wet?
Because I had it in my mouth. Filling my mouth up,
Wow.
obviously.
It's in my ass.
It's in my
anals.
unas.
At least it wasn't in his Unai.
All right, we'll be back next week to talk about the tomb. Craig, can you come back? Because there's a lot of gun action going on. You are our
Yes.
military, our weaponry advisor.
Okay.
On the show.
Yeah,
You want to come
why
back
not?
in? Cool.
I'm probably not busy.
Yeah. Probably not.
Matty, do me a favour. Pick him up next week. We'll see you back
Okay.
next week.
Great.
Get Into Geek.
No, whose idea was it to have 2 shots?